we're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Millions of Americans to keep the government open and to raise the debt ceiling so that the government can pay our bills on time, something we've always done bipartisanly, including right after the Republicans passed their deficit-busting corporate tax giveaway via reconciliation. Be brief, if you would. What would be the impact on our economy if they block all efforts to raise the debt ceiling?
Event in American history. It would be disastrous for the American economy, for global financial markets, and for millions of families and workers whose financial security would be jeopardized by delayed payments. For example, nearly 50 million seniors would or could stop receiving Social Security payments or see them delayed. Our troops would not know when their paychecks would come. 30 million families who rely on the child tax credit would not receive the monthly payment on time. Unemployment would surely rise. And as we saw in 2011, even coming very close to the deadline without raising the debt ceiling can undermine the confidence of financial markets in the creditworthiness of the United States. It led to a debt downgrade and soaring interest rates, which ends up raising payments on mortgages, auto loans, and credit cards.
What party controls the House?
The Democrats.
What party controls the Senate?
The Democrats.
I believe we can agree that President Biden is a Democrat.
I believe.
Okay. Senator Schumer, who's a Democrat, and my friend, controls the Senate floor. And he can raise the debt ceiling by just amending the budget resolution, can't he?
It's possible that that could be done.
Yes, ma'am. So why didn't he do it? Why don't y'all do it?
Because
and then
this
we
is,
don't. Let me
because
just
this is.
Let me just finish. Why don't y'all just do it and then we don't have this fight?
Because
why do you insist on doing it the hard way?
Because it's very important to recognize that raising the debt ceiling is about paying bills that Congresses
have
incurred in the past, and it's a shared responsibility.
So why don't you?
Democrats
I agree with that. So why don't you just amend the budget resolution?
Democrats have provided votes in the past when both houses of Congress are controlled by Republicans, when the Republican Party was in the middle of reconciliation. 2017 is a good example, and Democrats pitched in to do their duty to raise the debt ceiling.
But I know all that, and we and I appreciate your perspective. But let me ask you again. There's a real simple solution. Why don't y'all just amend the budget resolution? It just takes 50 votes by my Democratic friends and the vice president. Why don't you just do that? Problem solved. Done. Easy peasy. Finished. Let's go have a cocktail.
Well, it will be up to the leadership of Congress to.
Are you going to recommend that you do that?
We will confer with them on what is the best strategy to move forward.
It's not often. I haven't been around this place as long as you have. But it's not often around here that we have a problem that has an easy solution. And this is a real easy solution. And I get politics. I understand why politically you folks want to have Republican fingerprints on the spending fiscal knife. I get that. But do you really, is your politics so important that you want to gamble here on the sovereign debt of the United States when you have a very, very simple solution that you refuse to take?
I want to see that the debt ceiling is raised. As I've said, I believe it would be catastrophic not to do so, but I equally believe that deficits have been run under both Democratic and Republican administrations. It's important to recognize that, and that means that paying the bills for those deficits is a shared responsibility, and it should not be the responsibility.
I agree with that. Very eloquently put, but it's a fact, isn't it? That you and your folks just want Republican fingerprints on the Democrats' effort to tax, spend, and regulate America into Europe. Now, it's your prerogative to do that, but this is all about the administration's desire to have Republican fingerprints on it and later call it bipartisan. And you know that, Madam Secretary, with all the respect I can muster, and so do the American people.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And guys, we have the debt ceiling here. And we know the Democrats run the House and the Senate. So we know this can easily get passed through. But we know the New World Order loves a good what? That's right, a good movie. They're playing the Hegelian dialectic. Remember what I advised you. They're setting up for a big crisis this fourth quarter. They have to have a narrative for people to be distracted so then therefore they can take the money behind the scenes and build this fourth industrial revolution. Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen meeting with Congress is nothing but theater, guys. 2022 is going to be one of the worst years in financial American history. But also, guys, a fourth industrial revolution is going to speed up. The foundation will be laid. The foundation for cryptos were laid in 2021. The foundation for the fourth industrial revolution will be 2022. The fall of Babylon and the rise of China and that digital yuan backed by that digital SDR. Because we know when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.